It's Saturday of Easter week as we continue to celebrate the resurrection of Christ. And what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about how we can't forget that the resurrection of Christ is experienced in a world where often there's a lot of sorrow and pain. And so the resurrection of Christ is not something that erases all that pain and all that suffering, but it gives a deeper meaning to it. And this particular thing that I'm going to focus on today, it's a little, it's kind of something that someone gave us, a little box. And what I want to do is I want to change it and transform it into a place where I can put some native plants in, some native succulents, because I'm going to take it to a place that's going to be pretty warm, and other plants have a hard time surviving there because of the water and everything like that. But the place is a very special place for us here at the center. It's a place where we have the remembrance of the children of mothers who have lost them. They've passed away, and so the mothers, the grieving mothers, have their own retreat here. And we take the names of their children and we put them in this special place. And I wanted to have some kind of vegetation so it looks good. And we have some things up there, but I thought these succulents would look very nice there in this little kind of box that that somebody gave us. Because it's really the belief in the resurrection that helps us often when we feel that terrible pain of being separated from someone. That the belief in the resurrection is that God has them, in his hands forever and cares for them, and that we in our lives are moving towards them in pain and in sorrow often, but still in a sense of consolation and of peace, because God has a beautiful future for them with him forever. In fact, that's a future they're experiencing now, and a beautiful future for us in joining them in the great presence of God. It doesn't erase all the pain, absolutely not. But what it does, just like a few green plants in an environment that doesn't seem to have very much, it cheers us up a little bit and makes us realize that life can be lived in very difficult circumstances. And not only lived, but to some degree, we can really continue to experience good things in life even after a terrible tragedy has happened to us. And so I'm hoping that through these plants and through what the other things we have, but most especially the retreats that we have, that these women will feel some comfort. And they all remind us that we too need to focus much more in a much more focused way on Jesus rising from the dead, because our lives will always be touched by sorrow. And Christ's resurrection lifts that sorrow, consoles it, and brings it to his Father, where there we find peace and a deep meaning for life. May we always praise him